Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I'm Sean, this is in the Mixer, episode 25 of our Isle of Man series, and before we even get into it, I know it's had a strong wardrobe week because I wore this shirt on Tuesday. I'm wearing it again now. Don't judge me, alright? Don't judge me. I'm just trying to get past my life as best I can. We're not going to screw around, we're going to jump straight into the game. We are currently 18 games into the new season. Of course, in this kind of elongated season now that we're in Vanarama South, or Vanarama North football, sorry. It's trying to bring you as much of the series, as much of the season as humanly possible. And things are going quite well. We've got a game in hand with Chester, who are in second spot. We are 3 points clear of them. We will, hopefully, be able to jump up and get a 6 point gap to them before we get into December, which is a fantastic result for the start of the season. All our promises that we've promised, all of our new signings, Jack Stainrod when he signed his new contract, David Wang when we brought him in, Longolo when we brought him in, or Longello, sorry, they're all fulfilled, so things are going pretty well there. The only downside, the only thing that we do need to improve is this bit that you see over here, our finances, our salary package. It's not going particularly well. We're currently spending we have a wage budget of 4.3k per week. We're spending 5.3. So we've got a whole bunch that we need to try and cut down on. We are trying to get rid of a couple of the guys, but they're not going to resolve that. Like Shaden Morris, I'll put him down into the reserves. The loan signing, we're paying him £275 a week. We want to try and get rid of that loan as quickly as we can. Hopefully they're going to get upset and want to recall him. Nigel Aris we're going to try and get rid of as well. The other guys here are just here to get match fitness. But we're in a good spot. We've got a squad of 19 players at the moment, and that's probably more than enough to get us through the season so far. We have had people getting called up, like Dong Dahi and David Wang have both been away with the Chinese national side. We do get the occasional suspension, we do get the occasional injury or knock, but it does still give us some wiggle room to work with. So I'm kind of content with the squad as it currently sits. There are a couple of players that we're keeping an eye on. I wouldn't mind another central midfielder, like a proper anchorman, like a proper superstar anchorman. So maybe one of like Aaron Bolger, if he eventually gets over his not desire to want to play football ever again in his career, or one of these other guys that we're scouting might be decent. Josh Andrews looks okay, but he still wants too much a week. So we could try and bring him in for around 100, maybe 200. And then just hope that the board forgives us for the 1k a week that we're over the wage budget. But I have a feeling if we get promoted, if we continue to do well in our cup competitions, all will be forgiven and we'll be okay. Speaking of cup competitions, that is what the focus will be this episode. Morpeth, we've got in the league. They're currently 12th in the division. We do want to bounce back. We did lose last time out against Guiseley in the games that we played off screen. We did beat Curzon Ashton 5-3 in the other one in an absolute cracking contest. They pulled a couple of goals back late. We were pretty convincing most of this match. It was the 60th and 76th minute that they pulled a couple back to make it a little bit nervy. But Austin Samuels, again, he's on a fantastic scoring run. 4 goals in the match, including a 93rd minute goal to restore our 2-goal advantage. Hopefully he can carry on his decent form against Morpeth. And then we, of course, have our massive fixture against Doncaster. They're currently 20th in League One. So just sitting as the last team in that relegation spot. They do have a game in hand where they could potentially get out of that division, but they are struggling a little bit. So it's not the worst time in the world to be playing them. They do have a squad of largely lone players, a good few young players in here as well from higher division clubs. It might not be the worst time in the world or worst time of the season to actually be playing them because they haven't won that many games over the last few weeks. Again, it's going to be a massive challenge for us, the biggest one that we've probably encountered so far in the series, but any result is good for us, and the game being at home, hopefully we can break some of our attendance records, get a good amount down to the bowl, and hopefully continue to build and grow the rest of the season. We're not going to waste too much more time though. I have spoken for way too long. Sometimes I just have to do these recaps to like introduce myself back into the save if I haven't played it for a day or two. But this is the lineup we're going to go with. We'll compare it with their lineup in a moment once the two teams load up. But desperately want to bounce back with a win in the league to continue our decent form. Want to carry in to that FA Cup game with a win. And this is the lineup that we'll go with. Dennis, of course, in goal. Belhoon and Carson as the central defensive partnership. Connolly is the right back. Melbourne is the left back. They're both on yellow card suspensions. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Hodgson and Haygarth as the central midfield partnership. Longello is still working his way to full fitness after signing. He's now made 4 appearances since we picked him up. David Wang on the right. Samuel's up top. And I'm going to play Dong Dahi alongside him because he actually scored for the Chinese national side in the last time he got called up. So we want to kind of take some of that form and move it on. Jack Stainrod hasn't been bad, but he's only got 4 goals from 15 appearances so far in the league this season. And in reality, we do want a better return given how much Samuels is currently scoring. They have up front club legend Rob Harker. He's not a club legend. What is he? I think he's just favoured personnel. Let's have a look. Rob Parker, yep, favoured personnel. No icons at the moment and 3 legends, including myself. He played for Isle of Man, scored 23 goals in 22 appearances. Was fantastic for us a few years ago before he got the move to Morpeth. And his goal rate has dropped off a little bit, 39 and 75, but still a fantastic striker for this level and for the division. The captain, Sean Reid in midfield, ex-Blythe Spartans player, 31 years of age. Looks to be a very solid player for this level. And at the back, they've got Callum Williams, 26-year-old ex-Newcastle junior. Looks a little bit sunburnt in his photo there. I know that life. I understand what it's like. But looks to be fairly decent. Got good long throws as well. So they're going to have a little bit about them. Regardless of where they sit on the table, assertively, we're just going to tell the team, go out there, relax, play your natural game. And hopefully, if everyone's a bit calmer, everyone focusing on the game, they've got a highlight immediately. Thankfully, Dennis comes out and claims from the corner. But if everyone focuses, finds their rhythm, we'll carry it on and get a good performance here. Long ball forward. Venison with the ball now. David Wang puts good pressure on. Ball headed back by Carson. Hickey at the base of midfield. Flick on headed towards Harker, who's gotten in the box, and it's a good save from Dennis. Ball still pinballing around, but the highlight comes to an end. Throwing now on the left. Melbourne to take. Finds Hodgson. Goes all the way back to Dennis in goal. He's got all the time in the world. Just pick out a player. Try and find your left back. He does now in Melbourne. Turns, gets forward. Good little exchange of passes there from Hodgson and Longello. Longello into the corner. Ball's recovered though by Morpeth. Harker plays it back to Reid. Looks for the switch out to the left-hand side. Connolly should tidy up and has time to turn. Long ball forward now. Probably wasn't on. Samuels does well to recover. Finds David Wang into Haygarth. Looks for Samuels in behind. He's not got much of an angle, but he's managed to clip the upright and before it goes out for the goal kick. We've got another highlight immediately. Melbourne to take again. Very similar structure to where the last one started. Back pass, or good back pass setup to Folks in the Morpeth goal. Samuels is still hanging around. Long ball forward. Bevan. Melbourne with a good header. Falls to Willis for Morpeth though. Bevan steps inside. Looks to release Harker in behind. He's gotten goal side again. Can he find the finish? He can that time. 14th goal of the season for Rob Parker. We know how good he can be. And he's come back to haunt us there a little bit. Did we get that commentary bit where he's come back to bite the hand that feeds or whatever it says? It's a good ball from Bevan, and it's just Bellahoon should have done better. Harker takes the ball around him. Once he's through, he's very good at those 1v1 situations, so it makes sense that he would find the back of the net. It's early in the game, more early than I usually use these. Let's use our demand more shout. Give everyone a bit of a kick up the backside, because we're coughing up the ball quite a bit in central areas, and you can see how high our defensive line is. They are going to continue to get in behind with regularity. Bevan cuts it back towards Harker, and Melbourne has given away a penalty, so we're potentially about to go 2-0 down. The demand more shout just comes through now. It's going to be the midfielder Reid to take, their captain, and he sends the keeper the wrong way. It's 1 out of 10 penalties that we see go in. That happens to be one of them. So 2-0 down, the first time we've really been in this situation so far this season, and we're going to have to kind of fire up a little bit if we want to try and get some points here. It's a good penalty, to be fair. Right, we're through 30 minutes. We're going to use our get creative shout, see if we can't pull something back before half time. They've got a highlight here pretty much immediately. Bevan with the wide free kick towards backstick. Reid heads it in, and now Hickey's put it in. So we're 3-0 down inside the first 35 minutes. If we're going to mount a comeback, it's going to be pretty epic. And this is the exact opposite of what I wanted before we go and play League One Doncaster. It's not a bad header from Reid, and then Hickey. It's just poor defending. We had numbers in the area here. Someone should have got something on it. And then maybe Bellahoon could have done better at near post. The angle for the keeper wasn't tremendous either. David Wang with the deep free kick towards Bellahoon. We get the header in, but Folks is equal to it. Is that the end of the highlight, or are they about to launch a long one over the top? If gone long, Hagar should be able to bring it down, and does. Looks for the ball over the top for Dong Dahi. Can he find the finish here? It's not a bad effort. It's just wide. It was a good save from Folks in the end. Pushes it just around the post. We've got the resulting corner. David Wang is also going to take. Ball in towards Bellahoon at the back post. No one follows up the rebound. Williams is going to carry. The centre-back moving into his own half. Goes back to Bevan now, and the highlight comes to an end. So at least we know what we're going to be doing at half-time, which is unleashing the hairdryer on everybody. Longello now. Turns inside. Does well. Willis with the tackle. Ball falls to Hickey, now to Martin. Ball in behind, cut out well by Carson. David Wang sends Dong Dahi into the corner. Can he find the finish? It's straight at the goalkeeper again. He just needed to find one of the corners. Instead he goes straight at him. We're going to have a resulting corner, which David Wang should take. We've got numbers at back post if he can find it. It's pinballs around. I think Dong Dahi got the first touch on it for us. And the referee calls full time. So statistically, not that far apart. 9 shots, 4 on target, 51% possession for Isle of Man. Morpeth had 9, 6 and 49%, but they've got 3 goals. Aggressively, we're going to say, you're much better than this, but you're not playing like it. And tactically, we might as well go for broke. We're not playing particularly well, so let's go into this figure 8 shape, which I've been kind of flirting with a little bit over the last few weeks. It's kind of like a 2-4-2, but maybe we'll put the wing backs on defend. see if we can't use that to go and make it. Let's use our shouts earlier. Let's just get creative immediately. Did I forget? Oh, no, I did. I did do a team talk. Ball with David Wang now from a corner. In towards Samuels. He's clipped the base of the post. It pinballs around and Venison eventually gets it out for the corner again. Those are the sort of opportunities we need to be taking. We don't have that much time left if we are going to put a comeback together. But at least we're getting highlights going our way if we wanted to focus on the positive. David Wang with the ball now. Samuels back post again. The header just over the crossbar, but it looked like the keeper had it covered. All right, we're 3-0 down with 30 minutes remaining. Dong Dahi has struggled apparently. So we'll bring on Jack Stainrod. If we sort by match rating, Longello's not had a good game either. We don't really have anyone on the bench. Maybe we'll move David Wang to the other side as an inverted winger. And we will bring in on the right-hand side. And then can Ben Wells play as a left back for Jamie Melbourne? Nah, screw it. We're going to give it a go. Passionately, let's say, ability to make a difference. And then let's also use that get creative shout again. Just want to find the back of the net. Give us some sort of sliver of hope that we can carry on and try and find a result here. It's going to start with Folks, who's got, I think, a free kick for offside. Long ball forward. Good header from Carson. Stainrod's gotten in behind. Can he come off the bench and find the back of the net? It's straight at the goalkeeper again, so he's not finishing any better than Dong Dahi was. But at least good play from Samuels. Played him in early. Naki to take the resulting corner. Doesn't beat the first man, which is unforgivable. Hodgson, back post run. Oh, Samuels was in the area. It's just overhit. He's done well to keep it in and get it back across. David Wang with the first time effort. And that's his first goal for the club. An excellent goal from him on the volley, back across the goalkeeper. We'll check it out in 3 dimensions here. Credit to Samuels for not giving up on it. Some might have just let it run. He keeps it in, turns around on his left foot, not his favoured foot, gets it back across. David Wang, right foot on the volley, back across the goalkeeper. Couple of defenders in the way, probably unsided the goalkeeper there, but we managed to drag one back. Can I use Get Creative shout again? I'm just going to keep firing through shouts all the time. A few players have responded inspired. Can we get another one here to make it interesting in the last 10 minutes? Flick on header. May with the ball on the left wing. Naki now releases Samuels into space. He's got time in front of him. He's on the right-hand side. He doesn't traditionally finish that well from that side. And Folks equal to it and holds. All right, we're into the last 10 minutes. We're just going to keep an eye on and then we're going to use our demand more shout. See if we can't fire everyone up. Connolly with the throw in here. Finds Nakia. It's cleared away. But we've been given a free kick and Snell has been sent off a second yellow card for the Morpeth man. Nothing happening though. 4 minutes to be added on. They've got to throw in deep in their half despite being down to 10. Carson with the header away. Belhoon hacks it clear. Samuels is there and looks for Stainrod off the shoulder. He's in on the left-hand side. He's got a lot of work to do. Steady strikes near post. Just puts it side netting. These shots from wide areas are an absolute killer. I wish there was a tactical instruction we could do to tell everyone to stop doing that. And the game comes to an end, a 3-1 defeat and a pretty poor performance, to be fair. 26 shots, 13 on target, 52% possession. They had 13, 6 and 48%. But most importantly, a 3-1 win. Let's aggressively tell everyone you're not good enough tonight. And at least everyone's responded positively. Everyone seems a little bit more fired up. We're just trying to keep morale as high as we can throughout the course of the season. Man stunned by incisive Morpeth. I'm sure they're very inclusive, but incisive is what the script says there. Sean Reid got the man of the match award with his goal from the penalty spot. But very frustrating that that's the sort of performance that we bring up. And 2 defeats on the trot now take us to 3 defeats for the league season. So we are in a little bit of a form slump. We might look at kind of making some tactical tweaks or seeing what we're not doing well. Magic of editing though, we're going to jump forward to the game against Doncaster. We'll look at the 2 lineups and we might make a couple of tactical tweaks before that one as well. Alright, so we're back a little bit early to go through the match preview. First and foremost, I should tell you what we're doing. We're going to use our cautious mentality. We don't pull it out that often because really it's something that I was trying to work on to be designed for like when we're the underdog, and we've been doing quite well in our league scenarios. So probably a good idea to test it out beforehand. I haven't done that. I'm just going to go and play with it. It's basically just fullbacks on defend and wingers playing a little bit deeper in more conventional 4-4-2 shape. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, we can of course change during the course of the match. They're in decent form. When I told you earlier that they were in bad form, it was because they'd only won 2 of their last 5. Now that it slides along with 1 extra win, they look like they're in okay form. And we have dropped off tremendously with those 2 defeats in the league so far this season. Darren Drysdale, 2 red cards, 20 yellow cards, doesn't bode well for our disciplinary record. We'll be wearing our home kit, of course. They'll be wearing their away blue kit. And let's have a look at the 2 lineups as they come through. Hopefully, they're rotating a little bit. It is a cup fixture. Of course, 4-4-2 for us. The only one change is that Melbourne picked up a yellow card, so Wells will come in on the left-hand side. They've got Rick Astley playing in the back line. It's not. It's Ryan Astley, 22-year-old ex-Everton defender. Looks to be fairly decent. I think they actually own him. Oh, no, he's on loan from Huddersfield, so maybe he's one that'll be up and available in the new year once his contract's up. They've got Tom Thorpe, who has had a very varied career. He's been at Bolton, Man United, Kolkata for a season. Went and played in the Indian Super League, which is the kit that he's wearing there. And now he's been back at Doncaster since the 2019 season. 143 appearances, 8 goals. Very good player. Adams on the left wing. Joe Adams, 22-year-old ex-Brentford junior. Looks to be quite solid as well. Dobra is playing as the number 10. Armando Dobra, great name. He's on loan from Ipswich, so one of the young players that have got 16 dribbling. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if we notice it during the course of the game. And then led the line. It looks like he's either a deep line forward or a target man. Jamie Sewell, 23-year-old, on loan from Swansea, previously at West Bromwich. So they've got quite a few good players, some decent ones that I think we should expect to challenge us quite a bit. Let's assertively tell everyone, nobody expects us to get a result, so play without pressure, and let's assertively tell the defence, I have faith in you, make a difference. And as the leading scorers in the FA Cup, we have scored the most goals ever at this stage of the competition. Team selection a little by the ways. Yeah, whatever. All right, don't give me any shit. Ben Whiteman has been good for them. And Ben Wells, yeah, he'll be fine. All right, first highlights. Corner for us. David Wang, backstick runner. Samuels with the header just past far post. We've got short corner routines on, and our players just ignore it. So I'm not sure if that's something everybody else is seeing or if I need to go and review them and see if they are actually set up correctly. But our short corners should be working. David Wang with the ball now, sends Stainrod in behind, who is starting ahead of Dong Dee, and strike is straight at Jamie Smith. I just wasn't impressed with Dong Dee in the last game. I think he had a lot of chances. He ended with a 6.1 match rating. He's on like a 6.3 average rating for the season. You start on 6.5, so he's going backwards. Good header there again from Austin Samuels. That corner routine, maybe it's working. Maybe I need to just keep my mouth shut. He just hasn't played that well, so Stainrod comes back in. Despite not scoring, he is still getting good match ratings. And Austin Samuel seems to score a bit more frequently when he's alongside him. Dobra goes on a run there. That was maybe that 16 dribbling we spoke about on show. His drive from distance, though, never looked like challenging the goal. All right, we're through 35 minutes. We're still at 0-0. They haven't exactly been turning the screws. We're going to demand more just to give everyone a bit of incentive to get through it, just as I've done that. We do the demand more shout, and then Tom Thorpe has gone and scored. David Wang apparently missed a header. And we go a goal down. It's Adams who took the initial free kick. The pinball's around. David Wang, it just swings and misses. I don't know if it hits Greaves or if he deliberately knocks it back, but Thorpe, the fox in the box, smashes that one home. So it does mean we can come out and attack a little bit more in the second half and see where we're at. I think we'll go to our attacking structure, but maybe leave the fullbacks a little bit deeper. So at halftime, a goal down, 4 shots, 1 on target, 48% possession, 10 shots for them, 4 on target, 52% of the ball. We've only seen that one highlight they've scored from. Passionately, let's say. Let's give these fans a performance to cheer for. Let's assertively tell everyone they weren't that bad and they can still improve. And that has seemingly picked everyone up a little bit. Let's go to our tactics. Let's switch to our attacking mentality, but leave the fullbacks a little bit deeper than we did in the last game. And then we'll give everyone 15 minutes. We'll have a look at form, fitness, yellow cards, that sort of thing, and see where we're at after about an hour. Connolly with the first highlight of the second half. Ball forward towards Samuels. He's crowded out by 3 Doncaster players relatively early. Someone's got to get closer to Tom Thorpe in midfield. Poor ball forward by Greaves. Bellahoon sends it into the corner. Stainrod and Wang were both about, but Stainrod's going to go after it. Crosses the ball towards Samuels, and he's hit the deck. We've gotten a penalty here. Now, our penalty record is disgusting. I think we've missed more than we've actually scored this season. It's going to be Jack Stainrod with the chance to find the back of the net, and we miss it. Of course, we fucking miss it. We miss every single penalty that we get. It is ridiculous. I don't know if it's just us or if you're experiencing the same thing. If you are, let me know in the comment section below so that I don't just slowly slip into madness. They've got a corner again. Calm with the header. That one hits the crossbar on its way out. We're going to make our subs. 5.8 for Jack Stainrod. Sounds about right after missing the pen. We'll bring on Dong Dee. Carson's got a yellow card, so we'll bring on... Who are we going to bring on? Bring on Reece York. He can play at centre-back. Why not? Let's just keep an eye on form and fitness and whatever else for the remainder of the game. Fitness-wise, Haygarth struggling a little bit. I don't know why Longello's an inverted winger. Let's switch him back to be a winger. And let's just hold off onto the last sub in case someone does get sent off or something ridiculous like that. And let's use our get creative shout. We managed to win a penalty. We could do it again, but I think that might have been our chance to actually try and get something in this game, and it might have disappeared. There's 10 minutes remaining. There's not a whole lot of highlights happening in this one. We'll use our demand more shout again. David Wang with a free kick. Goes far post, and Jamie Smith manages to put that one across. Is it Jamie or James? Couldn't even see. And then the follow-up header from Dong Dee goes out. Oh, it came off Greaves, that one. So we've got another corner again. Not sure why we're not using our short corner routine. David Wang just kicks the ball in. I don't think he aims for anyone in particular. Pinballs around. Astley gets it away, and that's going to go out for a throw-in. Got another highlight here. Wells to start with the ball on the left-hand side. Hodgson finds Wells, looks to send in Dong He, takes a great touch around the man. He had so much time. Could have taken a few more touches towards goal and tried to make the defender commit. Dennis with the ball forward now. Hodgson knocks it down for Haygarth. Outside to David Wang. Overlapping runs there from the fullback if he can find him. Instead, he tries a long ball in. It was never on. Hodgson still has the ball though. Long one forward. Smith comes out and recovers. It's Jordan Smith, sorry, not Jamie Smith. Long ball forward here. Is he going to go towards Sewell? No one gets near him. Manages to bring the ball down and play it out left to Adams. Reverse pass to Dobra. Good tackle from Bellahoon. It's back to Dennis now. The highlight continues, which it's either going to break my heart because they're going to score, or we're going to see some pretty fantastic late drama. Thorpe with the ball. Sends Greaves down the right-hand side. Cuts it back towards Adams. He gets a strike weight. Hits the crossbar. The ball's still in. Wells got a 2v2. Haygarth with the ball now. Thorpe has given away the free kick. He has, but the highlight comes to an end. 3 minutes to be added on. Is there going to be any late drama here? We've got a corner. Wang to take. Samuels is in the area, and Longello has put it away, or is it Greaves in the end? And Anthony Greaves, their right winger, has managed to poke that one home for us. Can I do praise? If I praise everyone, can we get another winner in the last few minutes? Greaves has had an absolute nightmare there. Samuel's header wasn't going in. It was going wide. And the game call comes to an end. So Anthony Greaves' own goal in the 92nd minute eventually gets us back in. Imagine if we had scored that penalty and then managed to find a way in. Gee, I've forgotten how to do words, but 15 shots, 6 on target, 48% possession. They had 19, 8 and 52. Definitely didn't disgrace ourselves in that second half. Passionately, we've done brilliantly to come back and salvage a draw. I think it does mean that we have an FA Cup replay. I don't know how that works with like the match attendance and stuff like that. Post-match press conference. I'm going to send the assistant because I just don't want to get distracted by it. And I guess we're going to go with a super long episode to finish off the week and go straight into the FA Cup second round replay. We're going to be away from home. So here's the quandary that I've got. Do we stay on our cautious mentality where we did okay, or do we go attacking from the off and go after it a little bit? I'm thinking we go attacking from the off. We did a lot better in that structure, in that style in the second half. So maybe, just maybe, we carry that on again. Maybe we bring on Reece York in midfield. He's a bit better a tackler and does have a natural relationship with Haygarth. Oh, questions. What are we going to do? Jamie Melbourne can come back in for Ben Wells, and Abdi Sharif might as well drop off the bench. It's rare that I actually go through like these decision-making processes with you guys. And Jack Stainrod did miss that penalty. Maybe I'll put Dong He. This is Dong He's last chance. It's his natural role. He's playing out there with a Chinese compatriot. He's got all the things set up for him to do well in this environment, except he's just having a shit season. So hopefully he can turn it around in this one. Let's take the starting 11. Let's give them a rest day because, again, we're not on full-time contracts. So just 1 day's rest. We're not on full-time contracts, so it's tough for rest days to actually mean anything. But let's give them a day off. Hopefully they will recover a little bit, be a bit further ahead in terms of their conditioning and stuff for the match. And Magic Redding jump forward to the preview against Doncaster. Alright, so just like that, we're a couple of days ahead. They've changed their lineup a little bit, but nothing massive. Carroll comes in to central defence. He might have played in the first game, I've already forgotten. Ex-Oxford Junior, he's a central defensive midfielder by trade. Can play at centre-back, which is where they're going to use him today. They've brought in Whiteman, who I think has been their best player so far this season, or at least their leading scorer, their equal leading scorer with Dobra and Soule. And Shea Cooper, who's a very good Tottenham junior, and gets very good in this game if you've seen him in your own saves. They've currently got him on loan from Tottenham. We'll keep an eye on him as well because it would be great to bring someone of that quality down to the club. For us, just the one change. Jamie Melbourne comes in on the left-hand side. And Dong He comes in up top. So that's 2 changes. There's a third change I've just remembered. We brought in Reece York. So ignore what I said. A whole bunch of different changes that we've done. And we've gone to our attacking structure from the off. Just to try and catch them off guard. I don't think they'll be expecting it when we're playing away from home. But again, just thrilled that we managed to get a late equaliser. We could lose this one 5-0 and I'd be okay with it. It's just really a good marker for where we want to try and get to as a club. Professional football, League One status, all that sort of stuff. Dobra's on a run here. Bellahoon recovers the ball in a good area. And then Samuels doesn't quite go after it. Soule's in the area and he finds the finish. He's offside, thankfully. Gotten away with one there. We're a bit slow getting out. But Samuels didn't put that great effort in. I think that's probably one of those ones where you'd back a centre defender at a Vanarama national level to maybe miss the ball. And they don't do that in League One. Longello now. Back to York. All the way back to Melbourne. Crossfield switch out towards David Wang. They've recovered the ball, but Wang will get it back and play it back to Connolly. Carson, all the way back to Dennis. At least we're trying to retain possession. We're not just giving it away willy-nilly. Dennis, long ball forward. Dong He will chase. Smith comes out and claims pretty easily. Is that the end of the highlight? Let's see. Long ball forward from Smith. Flick on header from Connolly. David Wang now. Got space to move into. Can he square it up? Longello back post, he gets the strike away. A very similar area to where David Wang scored from in the first match. Oh, sorry, not in the first match. In the first match that we watched, the game against Morpeth. Richards now with the ball. Tries to cut it back. Whiteman all the way back to Smith. They're taking their time in possession as well. Now they go for the ball over the top. Dobra has brought it down. Can he find the finish? He can indeed. It's a good effort, to be fair. Did very well running with the flight of the ball to bring it into stride and then smashed it through for his 5th goal of the season, which I think makes him their highest scorer so far for the year. Just Smith, he had plenty of time, just went long in the end, and Bellahoon should have done better. The other defenders should have done better closing the space. But it's a good finish, to be fair. He plucked it out of the air very well and then smashed it back across the keeper to give them 1-goal lead. So we haven't been disgraced as far as the stats go, but they have found the back of the net, and that might be incentive for them to push on a little bit further. Adams now, deep free kick towards back post. Astley thankfully puts it straight at Dennis. He had a big gap here near post he could have gone for, but thankfully he's let us off the hook. Connolly now with the throw in to Haygarth, who loses out to Adams. Ball forward to Sewell. Now Whiteman, who they have highlighted as being a good player. Carson just clears it straight into him. Dobra again's gotten goal side, and Dennis, equal to at that time, just pushes it out for the corner kick. We're going to get our zonal marking right here, boys. Adams, ball in, headed away well by Melbourne. Good header too. He managed to clear it quite a distance. Whiteman back into Adams, inside to Cooper, and thankfully Adams has been called for offside. So we're going to use our get creative shout. We're already on attacking. Everyone seems inspired by it. Can we do anything to push on here and try and find an equaliser before half-time? Melbourne with the throw-in to Dong He. Back to Melbourne again. Ball over the top towards Samuels, who does challenge. Carroll with a good header. And then a ball forward. Dobra, who's causing us all sorts of issues in this one. Connolly, ball out to Dong He. Back to Melbourne. Looks to send Samuels in behind, but again, Carroll with a pretty imperious header. Every 1v1 so far, Carroll's won, and Sule gets in behind. That one he's onside for. His 5th goal of the season as well. And a good assist from Shea Cooper, who we spoke about in the build-up. It's that one there. Like, I think Samuels is just gambling that it's going to find its way through in the back. And instead, Cooper recovers possession, finds the midfielder. Cooper finds Sule, and Sule smashes that one in. 3 minutes to be added on in the first half. We haven't disgraced ourselves. I'm not upset. 8 shots, 5 on target, 51% of the ball for Doncaster, and a 2-goal lead. We've had 6-2 and 49, so we haven't been entirely out of it. But I think assertively we're going to say, show me something else, and everyone looks happy except David Wang. He's also on a yellow card, which we'll have to keep an eye on. Oh, we're on our positive mentality, so we haven't even gone attacking yet. We might as well go attacking. I don't know why we weren't on attacking from the start. Let's have a look at our tactics. He's set to winger. Great. Smith now, long ball forward towards Greaves, who did score that own goal to keep us in the tie. Macy inside to Whiteman. Sule to Cooper. They're moving the ball with ease through midfield. Melbourne does well to recover and plays it back to Dennis in goal. We've got 4 men forward and a 4v4. Haygarth getting forward now. Now we find Samuels in behind, and he goes for the placement. Macy keeps it in. Samuels recovers. Can he find the cutback? Instead he goes the shot himself. He had 2 guys just standing in the middle. Ball still in. Longello loses out to Macy. He puts it out for a throw. Corner now. Adams to take. Deep one across. Dobra was in the area. He has caused us continued problems, and Dobra has been brought down by Reece York, who has, to be fair, been fucking terrible. Whiteman now are going to take the resulting penalty straight down the middle. So we're 3-0 down now. Might as well make some rotations. I never should have taken Connor Hodgson out. I regret that one a little bit. David Wang struggling for form and fitness. Bring on Nakia. And then who do we trust the most out of the defenders here? I don't have a right back, so we'll trust Joel Connolly and we'll take off Jamie Melbourne for Ben Wells. Passionately, let's say, faith in you make a difference, boys. And we use that get creative share. If we can find just a goal away from home against League One opposition, it would be a fair result, a fairly impressive result. David Wang with a great turn on halfway there. I missed it while I was just talking shit, but let's use that get creative shout now and see if any of the players can respond. Thrown from Wells here on the left, finds Longello. Back to Wells again. Looks for the deep ball in. There's no one in there. Amos with the header, and Smith comes out and claims. Don't know why we try that ball if there's no one in there to actually go after it. They've pretty much cleared that on the deck. Sule recovers. Long ball forward from Connolly. Comes straight back at him, and Adams is now goal side. Just stand him up. No penalties. Crosses poor. Myring back post. Wells with the ball now. Connolly with the header away. Cooper back to Adams. Good exchange of passes, and eventually Adams with the strike. And just wide of the far post. Adams now, ball front stick, it's pinballing around, it's an open goal, and Harrison Myring, thankfully, is going to be ruled out for offside, so we don't go 4-0 down. Been a lot of goals conceded, probably the most of the series so far in this episode. And we're into the last 10 minutes. Let's use our demand washout. See if we can't push everyone through. Just find your focus, boys. And don't get me wrong, like I sound annoyed. I'm always a little bit annoyed when I lose, but I'm not upset because they're a League One side. A 3-0 defeat after forcing a replay is not the end of the world. Wells forward to Longello now. We're going to maybe give something for the away fans to cheer. Long to he with the ball. Back to Bellahoon. Out left now to Wells. He's made a good overlapping run and he keeps it in. Tries to cut it back. There's men in the middle. Whiteman with the long ball forward. Carsten's head is poor. Soule skips past his resulting challenge. He's into the box and he goes for the drive from the top of the area. Referee should call for full time after that one, and he does. Clearly deserved winners for Doncaster. That's very fair. Dobra, Soule and Whiteman getting goals for them. But statistically, we didn't disgrace ourselves. 16 shots, 6 on target, 46% of the ball for Doncaster. We had 15, 4 and 54. And in reality, I think it was just the difference in quality between the players they had on the park. Passionately, let's say, despite the result, I'm pleased with your performance. Everyone switches off. So let's assertively say, you're unlucky. Let's see if we can't get some of these guys back on board. It hasn't worked quite to the effect that I would have wanted. Hopefully that doesn't destroy morale too much. Post-match press conference, the assistant can do it. F.C.Isle man defeat in the FA Cup second round, and we'll look back on the competition with some pride. There were some great results in there and some great performances, scoring quite a few goals. And look, there's nothing to be upset about being eliminated by League One opposition. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the portion that I appreciate the most. We had a bit of a bumper episode today, and hopefully that extra bonus helps you guys through the weekend as well. Next week, we're going to do the second half of the season, 5 episodes, Monday to Friday, to close out Season 5 and hopefully secure a divisional title and moving up to Vanarama National Football. I don't know what that means for the club. I don't know if that means we're going to get a whole bunch more to spend on wages. I don't know if it means we move to full-time status potentially or professional status. There's a whole bunch of exciting things that we'll find out about next week. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because you can be kept up to date to all our future videos, including those ones next week once they're released. If you look to the links over just on that side there, we've got a Twitter where you can interact with the FM community and with us directly. Chuck a comment below. I am the one that responds to it as well if you ever wanted to reach out or get in touch or give positive or negative feedback. And keep an eye on our Twitch channel as well for our regular Sunday night or Sunday morning if you're in the UK streams. But like I said at the start, more than anything, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.